Detailer's Roadmap Cruise Control, where we navigate the roadways of life, business, and everything in between. Hey guys, it's Kevin Davis from the Cruise Control podcast, brought to you by Detailer's Roadmap, and this is a very special one of the first ones, actually the first one of these Troubleshooting Your Business podcasts, where we get some experts together and myself, and then we talk to business owners, help diagnose the problems about their business, and then help them give action steps so that they can solve those problems. We'll come back for another episode, see how it went, and kind of keep them along the way. Today, we are here with myself, Kevin Davis. I'm here with Grant Menard of Power Moves Consulting, Menard Detailing, Barry Theal, SB3, who's eating a bag of chips or something. Thank you very much for messing with my sound. And David Caballero from D.A.C. and in Maryland. And David, I'll let you give us a little bit of your background, kind of your shop, and then I have a quick dude with the chips, really. And then
dude, it's beef jerky, man. Your boss sent this to me because I was sick, so I'm trying to throw a thing out for Chris. Saying,
oh my gosh,
I'm enjoying
Chris, he's I'm gonna have to, I'll send Chris my own special thanks after we're done with this. But David, thanks very much for participating in this. I will go ahead and give us your background real quick. I know we want to get deep into the content real quick, but just kind of give us a little bit of sense of who you are, who your shops are, who your shop is, what you're doing, and where you're at.
Well, background is I went to school for IT, did it for a couple of years, didn't like it, opened up my own business about 7 years ago, officially running it for about 4 now. It's me and 2 other people full-time. It's a 2,200 square foot shop. We major in PPF, ceramic coatings, window tinting, and some detailing, but not much. We're actually about to move within a couple months to a bigger spot, which will be about 10,000 square feet, which is literally a couple units down from where we're at now. So that's what made me interested in this podcast, because we're about to make that plunge from here into there. And it's going to be just about a complete build out.
Cool.
We have a couple things in the works for it. We're adding a couple more services for it, because we're basically at the limits at the current place we're at now.
Very cool. Well, I appreciate you participating. I did a quick presentation just because I want to run through the numbers. And like I said before we started, some of these probably have changed. All right, business highlights. And I think we can see both of them, I guess. 7 years in business. You got 2 to 3 guys, 2 to 3 people. You said 2 plus yourself. Revenue you gave us was about $50,000 a month right now. Operating costs, which I want to talk about, $1,500. Labor costs, $19,000. Fixed costs, $4,000. So that's about $26,000 from what you gave us. So that put your margin at like 48%. So you're doing Details Roadmap website and SEO services, plus you do your own PPC, pay-per-click ads. And I'm just going to run through this stuff real quick, right? Posting multiple times a day on social, mostly Instagram. You do Urable, which, we're all Urable fans in this group. You're in a 5.5 million population. I want to get some clarification on that as far as like who you're actually trying to reach. Ceramic coating, detailing, maintenance washes, like you said, PDR, PPF wraps, and tint. I got some numbers from Chris last night, which was interesting. So we did kind of a year-to-year comparison, just so we'd have some basis to talk about SEO. You're up about 130% for your incoming monthly leads, and then your traffic's up by about 50% from a year ago. I want to clarify some close rates, like how many of those calls and form submissions and stuff that you're closing. All right, the strengths and challenges you gave us, you said your strengths are quick turnaround, multiple service options, and a small business feel. And then your challenges, inadequate staff size, inadequate location. I put an asterisk because like you said, you're going to go into a bigger shop. And then lack of skilled labor. And I thought it was funny because like the small business feel and the inadequate staff size is kind of related. So I thought that was kind of funny that that's a strength and a challenge at the same time. And these are 2 of the goals you gave us for like 3 to 5 year goals, $100,000 in monthly revenue, and you want to grow it to 3 locations. And that was it. So that's kind of the basis. So, we're doing about $50,000 a month now. We're going to move into this bigger shop. You're looking for 100 grand a month, and that kind of gives us the basis. And I'll let these other two gentlemen, if you guys want to jump in, and
Yeah, I'll jump in.
we'll get going.
David, when you left IT and got into detailing, what was the reasoning behind that? What got you into this industry to begin with?
So my parents have owned restaurants and businesses my whole life. So when I went to IT, I thought it was going to be a nice, comfortable job. Being in a room with 3 other guys with no windows was absolutely hell. Absolutely hell.
Like looking at Barry's office right now? Is that what it looked like?
Yeah, it was literally, I was a lot younger than they were. They're talking about grandkids, and I'm like, what the hell am I doing here? And it was an architectural firm which was worldwide. So really, we didn't have nothing to do until like something went wrong, and sometimes that will never happen during the day. So it was just boring. It paid well. It paid really, really good. But like when I got home, the wife was like, "What's wrong? Bad day at work?" I literally didn't do anything. So I decided to do something I wanted to do, and detailing was something that I got into, and just decided to take the plunge. At that moment, I was literally starting from scratch. So we had like one car, and I was literally just going from business to business, seeing if I could get start doing car washes. I would drive 45 minutes to go do 2 car washes from where I lived at, and it just started from there. But I mean, it was a struggle.
When you said we, was it just you or did you have somebody else
Yeah,
involved?
just me. So
Yeah,
I literally
cool.
started this. I got full time employees about a year and a half ago.
So you were
Until then, it
alone for
just been
6
me.
years or
Yeah,
5 years. It was just you. Damn.
yeah,
How's the business shifted since you added guys?
great. It's been good. It's been good. It was something that my wife decided to eventually. She convinced me. She's like, you can't do it yourself all. Because when I started, I was doing the advertising, I was doing the detailing, I was doing the calling, the marketing, everything. I was doing it all. Um, and then I decided that I had an opportunity. A friend of mine had a good detailer that was looking for a job, and he drives about an hour away from where I'm at now. Um, but he's really hardworking. He's been a struggle lately just because he has a sick kid. So for half of this year, he hasn't been here. But I've been working with it. We've worked around it. I mean, it's been good.
In the business, since you added those guys, what was it doing back in 2020 before you hired them to where it is now?
About 100K,
Total?
100K. Yeah. So we should hit about 400K this year.
Nice, bro. Hell yeah.
Yeah.
Nice.
So it's and that's with
Good
and
job.
that's with thank you, and that's with one of my main guy being out half of the year because he was literally out for 2 months. He
Yep.
just got back 2 weeks ago because he has an autistic son, and they're at the point of just don't know what to do. So
Mm.
he actually got into an institution now. He's going to be there for a couple of months, and they're trying to figure out exactly how to go forward with that. But it's been a struggle. But since we work by appointments, we can pretty much manage what comes in our schedule. And my young guy, he stepped it up. He went, he's our window tinter now. He knows how to do ceramic coatings. They're interested now in doing PPF as well. So it's been good. They're good workers.
Great. Um,
So can I? Yeah, David. So when you started, you were doing about 100
Hmm.
grand a year roughly. Right now you're doing 40 grand a year. Your goal is to get to 1.2 million a year. Obviously, if you want to do 100 grand a
Hmm.
month, is that where we're at right now? To be
Yeah,
correct. Okay, I'm just following
So
along to make sure
3x. So we're
I'm
trying
there.
to
Go ahead.
3x revenue, right?
yeah.
yeah. That's the goal for the next three to
Correct.
five years. Yeah.
Cool. How far out are you booking out? A couple days, a week, a month?
At the moment, between 2 and 3 weeks. We were more before like the last month and a half. It was about 3 4 weeks, but it's quieting down a little bit more. So we're about 2 3 weeks.
2 3 weeks. Nice. Cool. What's primary out of the 40 grand? Well, hold on to that. You're probably about 35 grand a month right now. That 30 plus thousand. How does that broken down in between coatings, PPF, tint, details?
Coatings. So for our tent, 90% is ceramic tent,
Okay.
and we really don't push it that often unless it's like Our biggest package is something called our Elite package, which is basically full front PPF, ceramic coating, lifetime, and everything else. And a lot of times they'll just add the ceramic tint to that. So it's usually between a $4,500 and a $5,000 ticket price.
Sick.
And we can finish it off probably 3-4
Nice.
days. We can usually get that done.
So that's
awesome.
4 days with one. So you got one guy doing that, or you guys both? I'm trying to figure out like
So-
if that takes 4 days. That's limiting.
So the
obviously.
ceramic coating, my guys can do it in about 7 hours. The full coatings, the polish, the coating on the paint, the wheels off, the glass, the interior. So right now, I'm the only person who does the PPF in the shop. So
Okay.
the PPF, I can usually do a front clip in about 6 hours.
All right.
And then
Who's
we
doing
just,
the rest?
we just hold it to it so it
So-
can dry.
So right now, David, you have two guys who are doing the detailing, the other stuff. You're doing the PPF. Plus, you're also trying to run the business, market the business, manage the business,
Yeah.
and everything else involved. I would assume
Yes.
it's a lot of hats to be wearing for a person. Okay.
To be honest, it's a lot
All
easier
right.
now with having everything. We have a lot of stuff that's automated. With your able has been great.
Yeah.
Marketing for our newsletters.
I like your
Take you
I
30
like your
minutes to do a
I like your
newsletter.
sweatshirts, by the way.
So yeah, so we've automated a lot of the work already. Before when I was by myself, that was probably like the biggest thing. So I'm saving hours and hours now, automating a lot of the work.
So in the
So,
numbers
I
we
mean-
grabbed last night in September, the number we got that we could directly kind of grab data on was you got about 65 form submissions and calls, which is, 10 a week, 12 a week or so. Who's handling those calls? And what I was curious about what our close rate is. Like of those 65, we're hoping that
I am.
yeah, so you're taking all those sales calls, and what's our what how many of those 65? And I mean, if you throw in everything else, you got to be pushing 80 to 90, with everything.
So-
I would guess.
I'll tell you right now, when we start using Detailers Roadmap and we start using the websites, we have the amount of calls that we get that are useless are very, very small. So they're usually very qualified calls already, and with the form as well.
Yeah.
Just about recently, maybe within the last month, you've been getting some some iffy leads here and there, but with the forms, if we get the form and I get them on the phone, our close rate is probably 80%. It's very, very good because they've done all the work. We have.
So why are you?
Go ahead.
Can I ask you something, Dave? Why are you still doing PPF if your closing rate's 80%?
What do you mean, PPI? Still,
Why are you?
because
Why are you personally still doing PPF?
I haven't found nobody who can do it yet. Like I've tried training a couple people, but sometimes we're at the point in our shop that we have too many cars that we can't literally have anybody else in here. Like we will have 5-6 cars, and if we start adding more people just start bumping into it, which is why we're moving. Our shop isn't like a big shop, and I don't like to stack it up so much that it's a bunch of sardines, because we started doing a lot more trucks, and they're taking a lot more spaces.
The I want to rebuttal you with
Okay.
something here. You're at the point where you're saying your closing rate is 80% with yourself. Okay, I want you to think about that. That's few and far between, I would think, with most companies to be at 80%. If you're that good of a salesman and you want to scale your business, the first thing you have to do, in my personal opinion, is get out of that shop right now. You need to find somebody that could start PPFing, because every moment you're spending on PPF, you're losing time and money by not bringing in that 80% of people to come in. I'm sorry, I just wanted to say that to you, but just an outside observation.
No, I totally understand that, which is why so with the new place we're looking at, it's been a complete hell, because we've been looking for a spot. Magically, this one opened up a couple months ago. Management was like, we're kicking them out. They're a complete shit show. They have like 115 cars abandoned there. We just want them out. So it was something.
Are there any good ones? Are there any good cars in there?
So they specialize.
Grant, all three of us are like, car
So
guys that we would gladly come in there and buy a few.
So it's a specialized Mercedes shop. So they're all Mercedes.
Ooh.
But you could tell the generations which were bad because they're just full of that. So it's all Mercedes. So it's a complete shit show over there. So the management came up to us and they were like, "You guys want to take over a spot?" We went to go look at it. It's going to be a lot of work to do, but there's potential there.
David, there's
like I said, it's going to be
115 cars.
Yes.
Are they stacked? Are they side by side, like stacked on top of each other?
Side by side, but they also have a lot. And then the inside is full of cars as well. So it's a 10,000 square foot place.
Okay, that's better.
So we calculated it's going to be about 15 to 16 cars. But they only have about 800 square foot of usable space because there's so much crap in there.
But they want to rent you the whole spot.
Yeah. For basically less than double what I pay right now. So we're going to be paying about $7,000 a month for a 10,000 square foot place.
Whoa, that's a lot.
Yeah. So, and that's the goal to go, into that spot now. But it's just been a delay after delay after delay kind of thing. Because we brought in people because I've been playing on this for a while, and we brought in people to see if they could work with PPF. I have a couple of people that can, and window tint as well, that know how to do ceramic coating, but we just have no space for them at the moment in here.
Yeah. Let's get back to
that's the reason why I really wanted to look at.
Cool. So there's obviously we're going to continue to get into direction. We had to understand these numbers a lot more though, because up 400 grand, if your margins are 47%.
Well, let me point this out real quick. Here's a point of clarity, Grant, as we go through this. You had put, and I didn't put this in the list, but you had put your margin goal was 20%. But but if you're doing 50 now with 26.5 in costs, that puts us at 47, 48%. So I was trying to see, like, are those costs accurate that I gave,
so
the 1,500 and all that stuff?
So with the costs, it was just chemicals wise. Like our average, our cost monthly, if you start putting marketing and stuff, we pay about $4,500 in marketing.
So that $1,500 was just chemicals, not PPF, because there's film.
So
right?
So we have film cost is a lot more. Labor cost is a lot more. Yeah, just in marketing alone, we pay about $4,500 a month for our advertiser, our Google's.
BPC,
so we
PPC
have
plus our SEO services and.
So we use Hunter. We use Hunter for marketing, our Google's, our Facebook ads, and then we do the SEO with detailed roadmap, and then do our website as well.
Okay. Oh, so that's including SEO.
Yeah.
How much is it on the Hunter side?
1,400.
Not including ad budget or including ad?
No, that's just his fee.
Okay.
And then our budget is between, I think it's $1,000 and $1,200 a month.
That's $1,200, and then how much with DR? Detailed
So
roadmap?
DR is $189 a month for the website, and I think it's 1,400. I think $1,389. I think for the SEO.
Cool. When you were on your own, were you doing any of this stuff? The 4,500 was.
I was doing the Google, but it was just, I felt like it was money down the drain because you're trying to learn your ideal client, what they're looking for and stuff like that, and that took a lot of time.
Yeah, for sure. All right, cool. Let's hypothetically, or David, how much have you done year to date? So in Q1 to Q3, take out the last 5 days of October, but Q1 to Q3, what's been the total number in the year? You can pull up your Able real quick too if you wanted to. We can pull these numbers really quickly.
I use Square. I'll tell you right now. 337.58.
Can you see how that's broken down?
How you want me to break it down?
Q1, Q2, Q3.
All right.
I think we break it down even further. Go ahead.
I was just going to give, while he's looking that up, we're recording this right at the beginning of October, and so kind of give people a sense of where we're at. So
first quarter 102.
All right. Q2.
$137.
Cool. Good little bump.
And want me to do the next three?
Yep. So July, August, September. It's got
101.
music. 101. All right. Someone's got the music bumping. What was the $30,000 or $36,000 deficit there from Q2 to Q3?
across the board, just from our data, I don't know if you're able to show the same thing, but industry wide, September was pretty. I wonder if how was your September? I'm curious.
So we're up from last year. So we're up
Cool.
on all the months from last year.
Awesome.
So last year, I can tell you right now, we did 23, but this past month we did 32.
What about the month prior? See about 30% growth there.
Yeah, because when you guys told me about this, I started breaking it down by month, how I've been doing the last
Yeah.
2 previous years.
So David, I can make this very simple. Why don't we do this then?
Yeah.
Do you have the amount of completed jobs, like actual number? Hey, we did this many cars last year.
I do not. No, nothing. I don't for the amount of cars. I could tell you like transactions wise.
Were you using your Able last year?
I just started using it about this past year.
Okay, January 1
Yeah.
of this year. Okay,
Yeah.
all right. So it's gonna track. We could break it down. So can you track the Q1 102,000? Do you know how many cars you completed then?
I'll tell you right now.
So do that for Q1, Q2 to Q3.
All right.
How convenient that we have an application, CMS, CMR, that will show you this information in a very quick number of steps.
We don't have ad dollars yet, Kevin, towards this.
It's all right. I'll back bill you. Go to yourable.com to sign up for your demonstration today.
Thank
So
you, brother.
the first quarter was 83 sales, so 83 cars.
All right, cool.
So that's
Next quarter.
$500 a piece.
Not more than that. 1,216.
1216. Okay.
Yeah.
And the second month was 138.
All right.
And then the $76.
Nice.
Third quarter was 76.
Cool.
So yeah, like with Square, it does average 908.77 per transaction.
It shows more than that. If you did 101,000 in Q3, right? I have that at 76 transactions puts you at $1,328 or $1,329.
Oh, sorry, this thing did it wrong. Sorry. Yeah, sorry. Yeah, 116 sales. Yeah,
Oh, 116, not 76.
yeah, 116.
All right. You guys can kind of take over while I do some math.
So I was curious, are we 100% committed on this new space? Like, have you signed contracts and all that
So
stuff?
the whole like even got a text from the landlord today saying that. So the reason the place even came up was the person who's there now has no lease.
Mm.
So he's about 85 years old. He's been in and out of the hospital. Kids don't want to take it over. It's a dump over there. Like we can't even have trailers come in here. So we have a huge fence around the whole complex. That thing has been broken down about 4 or 5 times now because there's no trailers. There's no way of cars getting around there. So them backing up is just breaking down the spot. So that's why they were just basically trying to force them out. So we're committed on hopefully getting a 5 to 8 year lease there, and build it up from there. But it's just like I said, it's been slow.
I'm just from an action step. So have you, like, if you said today, hey, I've decided not to do this, could you legally do it? I'm just curious.
Yeah.
Like this.
Yeah.
Okay, you could.
Oh, yeah.
Okay, just so we have that basis of understanding.
We've been looking for. I've been asking to get paperwork done so that we can actually, be 100% committed there and start planning it out. But right now we're on hold because every time we ask for something, there's always a reason why it can't be done or why it's taking so long, kind of thing. So
I gotcha.
That's basically where I'm at now.
Okay, Barry, you had something to say?
David. Yeah, David. I seen that you're in Marlow,
Marlow Heights,
Maryland, Marlow Heights. Yeah, where is that?
So
Maryland?
the thing where our benefit is, we are 10 minutes from Virginia, 10 minutes from D.C. So we're like literally in a little area so we're about 6 minutes into Maryland.
So you're down along like Alexandria.
So I'm 14. Yeah, we're 14 minutes from Alexandria. That's where I live at. Yeah.
Okay. I'm just trying to think of your area as we're discussing, pricing and all that. Yeah. Okay. So you definitely got the area. You've got the market.
And that's the whole point of which is what we're trying to get into with the bigger spot is expanding our reach, because all the big shops here are in Virginia, but they're in Loudoun County, which is about 45 minutes to an hour, because that's where all the Ferrari dealerships are at. That's where the Lamborghini dealerships are at, and you could get a lot more for your money, space wise.
Yeah. Cool.
So, I mean, Grant, you'll go into this more. You love this number, but if he's just to cover rent and PPC, that's 11 grand. So what's your factor? 3.4. So you got to do 35 grand just to cover those two, and that's not even.
Yeah. And I'm breaking this down now. So that's actually my next point. So this labor cost is almost 20 grand, right? 19,000. That's a month. Yeah. Is that including you?
Yes.
And how much do you take out?
And that's out of.
I'm sorry. Who was that? Speak.
How much do you take out? What's your take home pay?
So 1,900 a week.
So you're making 100 grand. You're making 100 grand a year after taxes. What about before? How much are you paying yourself before taxes?
2,500 a week.
Bro, you're bleeding this place. So you're making $130,000 a year on a $400,000 business.
It was to the point, I guess. Before now,
yes or no,
we were. Oh yeah.
And don't, like, first of all, let me just say, if people are listening to this, like, this is a very pointed, open, honest conversation these days.
Oh no, yeah.
So
before, before
anybody.
No. Before this, it was, I think last year I made 60,000. So this past year was the 1 year that we.
Yeah, where did you deserve this extra 70,000?
So I guess what we started doing about 6 months ago, started doing the whole profit first thing.
Okay, cool.
With our accounts. We have our accounts broken down that way. And I guess it was more that I got to the point of, am I actually going to start making money into this business? Like really start doing it, or is it's just something just to pay the bills?
Yeah. How much?
He's in freaking Washington D.C. It's expensive. Like that's, so, but I mean, that in terms of like driving decision making, I would guess that is partially a factor. It's
not cheap. It's not cheap to live around. So yeah, it's.
You were able to do it off 60,000.
The problem.
If you're able to do it off 60 grand, you can do. You're able to do it off 60 grand, right?
Yeah.
Okay. All right. I'll get down to this in a little bit. I'll make it back to the numbers.
Well, yeah, because one of the issues that you have here, Dave, just to be real with you, the average business should keep every labor percentage about 25 to 30%. In my opinion, I'd like to see it at 20, but 25 to 30 is pretty high. Right now, you're at $50K a month revenue, and you're paying out $19,000 just in employee payroll.
Yeah, dude.
That's high. That's very high. That right there is the difference between your business surviving and your business failing. In my opinion, that's one of them.
Yeah,
Yeah,
as I say, the maths aren't mathing, kind
yeah.
of a thing. And Grant wants to
Yeah.
break down the numbers for us, Grant, because you're the numbers dude. So let's
Yeah,
just that way
I'm
we
a
have
little
a
fired up. This gets me energized, bro. This is all good stuff. Yeah, yeah, I get fired up.
Because
Here's the deal, David. At this rate, if you do a $1.2 million business, your business is going to close at what you're paying yourself.
Okay.
Okay. The reason around this is you're about to jump into a new building, a 10,000 square foot building, $7,000 a month. Now this is just $7,000, not including the other 30% overhead you're going to have on top. So
Oh
realistically,
yeah.
this is going to cost you a little over $100,000 a year, which breaks down. But just off that $7,000 each day is costing you $23 a day. That's if the base filled or not. Okay. So if you add that and then you add labor on top of that, which labor on top is going to be, we're going to call it an $18 an hour average, which is super, super low. It's $36,000 a year. So that's 18 times 8. That's another $144 per bay. So 144 plus 23
and you're
times
basing
5.
the bay number on 16. Is that what you said? Where are you basing what's the division?
The bay is based off of 15 bays.
Okay.
Yeah. So basically, so people are asking, so how do you equate this? So I like to know what's the cost per bay. Okay. If the bay is not filled, it's costing you money, right?
Okay.
If you, David, as a business owner and head sales guy, can't fill that bay, it's costing you $23 a day every single day. The reality behind this is your labor and your costs are going to skyrocket the minute you go over here. The labor is by far, as you can already tell, your number one expense. So for you to fill this place, you're going to have 15 guys now. Okay, so 15 at minimum. That's just in the shop. Okay, this doesn't include you're going to need about 3 people up front just to manage the people in the back, plus potential HR person and a manager in the front, manager in the back. So we're looking at 20 people in total, but we're going to call it 15. So you have 15 people making $18 an hour. 8 hours a day, 5 days a week, 52 days a year, or 52 weeks out of the year. You have a $600,000, $561,000 times 0.13. You have a
Quick question.
$730,000. Yep.
Where the 15 bays? Where are those from?
You said there was 15 bays. You could fit 15 cars in there, right?
No. You could put about 15 cars that you pack them in, but the way it's set up. Yeah. I was like.
So let's call it. I mean, if you call it 10, that reduces that by.
Yeah, it's about 10. It's about 10.
That's still
That goes
500.
up. It almost doubles it, right? Or it actually raises per bay rate up.
Okay.
So here's the thing, David. You got to decide what you want here, okay? If you're making $130,000 a year right now, how much money's left in the bank right now, based off this year? And you could say there's a $50,000 loss, or what's left over every single week to date from Jan 1 to where it is today. Do you have any money in the bank, or are you pulling everything out?
No.
How much?
There's always
No.
every account has. We have about 42,000 in the bank, and
is that with your tax account?
Yeah. So that's our percentage for the tax, our profits, our labor, and our expenses.
So let's take tax out, right? Because that's going away.
Yeah.
Okay,
So you probably
how
have
much is
about
left over?
probably about 34. Because we pay our monthly taxes every month as well.
So that number is his personal year end tax number at what 15 to 18% or whatever that is. I don't know what the corporate.
No,
tax is
I think it's 8% for taxes.
Okay. We'll have to figure that one out. We're no tax accountants here. Of the $130,000, are you taking a payroll? Are you taking this in payroll or owner's withdrawal?
It's payroll.
Okay,
so
it's called. Yeah, so okay, so that adds another 30% to it. 1.3. All right, bro. This is costing you. You're charging the business right now with you being on payroll and you taking out $130,000 a year, $170,000, and you're pulling in just under $400,000. So 170 divided into 400. You're taking 42.5% out of this business, which makes sense now in the 47.5 that we have left over. Right? The reason there's 47.5 left over is because you're pulling out 42.5.
Okay.
You should be pulling out about 10. If you're a really
10?
good business owner, if you're a real good business owner, you should be pulling out about 10%. And that's if you're like a fucking CEO. Sorry for my language. You guys can bleep that out later.
That's fine.
Yeah, I'm not saying you're draining it, David. Here's the thing,
So
dude. We've all done this. I drained the business. I made $1 million and I spent it all, every single dollar. Okay, there was zero left over. $1 million mark, and I know Barry knows the same thing, and I know Kevin can relate to this too. All of us can. $1
yep.
million means absolutely nothing because the reality is the way you're going right now is you're
Yes.
gonna have nothing at $1 million.
No.
Okay,
David, just to give you an idea, some of these guys know my story. You may not. My shop, I was great location, un, unlimited inventory. I just wanted it. It was there. I had 25 employees at my biggest, 15,000 square foot shop, two different shops, and I hit that $1 million mark numerous times, David. The first time I hit that $1 million mark, I cleaned zero. I made no money at $1 million. Even though Barry Theal made money, the business didn't make
Yeah.
a crap because I was thinking, "Oh, $1 million, I'm a millionaire. Great." I learned hard, very hard, this lesson of what you're about to
Okay.
learn. I think yeah, but you got to keep that labor percentage low, man. That'll kill your business.
The reason I asked about the building is because that was the first thing that kind of got my radar peaked a little bit, because I think that this is the same thing. How many conversations have you guys had with detailers that are like, all I need to do is get a bigger shop, right? Like that's the like that's what, because that's the tendency to say, right? Like, this is my capacity now. If I just had a bigger spot, then I could fix the problem that we have. And if you take a step back, it always falls into the just because you can doesn't mean you should category for me. And I think that's one of the reasons I wanted to clarify, what is it going to cost us to change this path? And again, we're just here to give you advice. You can decide to do whatever you want.
Oh yeah,
but
yeah.
like,
I mean,
but-
it's I tell you, it's a rude awakening, which is good. It's just for the fact that it's like it making me see things in a different light.
Yeah.
than I've been looking at it. I've been seeing it, and I guess with this year was more about creating a cushion for myself than anything else, because it's been a struggle, this whole thing. I could definitely remove a lot of that labor of myself, yes, but it was more creating that personal cushion, that if something does, if shit does hit the fan, there is a personal cushion that I can fall back on.
Which the irony there is you're actually taking whatever cushion you currently have and you're completely you take it out with a shotgun and shoot it. That's because there is.
This is fun, Dave.
And listen, Dave, we've all been
dude.
here,
I mean,
man.
and let me give full
Well,
disclosure that I literally had this very similar conversation with Mr. Menard about a month ago, and like afterwards, I said, Michelle, my wife, I'm like, can you make me feel better and just kick me in the balls for like 25 minutes? Because I totally get it.
I'm a straight shooter.
But we all need this kind of wake up call, and I think this is a great example for everybody. So yeah, all that to be said, where do we go from here, guys? In terms of like, what's the, because we want to have some action items.
It's action time now. Cool.
Here's the thing, and I think many people can vouch for me when I hear say this. We live in a world where everybody's following everybody. Everybody's doing everything that everybody else is doing. We're all doing the same thing. We're cleaning cars. We're shining cars. We're trying to make money. And then we come from a generation in the last 5 years where everybody's 10x this, 10x that, 10x this. You got to work 100 hours. You got to do this, got to do that. Bullshit. Get rid of that mentality right now. I hate to say it that way, but I know guys who are making $200,000 a year, working by themselves, working 3 days a week detailing cars.
Oh yeah, I'm sure.
So it's not nothing bad. It's a process that needs fixed, somewhere along that line, and we're going to help you get to that point.
Yeah.
Fairly soon.
David, my question to you, David, and just a couple more questions, Kevin, then we'll kind of get into action items here. What does, when you got into this business 7 years ago, and then you decided to hire 2 years ago, I'm sure, to relieve some of your stress and obviously build revenues up for you.
Oh yeah.
What's been the vision for you since day one? Like, is this shop that you're getting into, is this what you want, or is this just what you feel is the next steps for the business?
I guess it's a little bit of both, to be honest. Um, I enjoy it. Like to me, eventually, I like to just not have to do any of the work and
Yeah.
basically work on bringing the business, the working more of the business aspect than actually working on it. I still enjoy it, but yeah, eventually I would like to get away from the physical work of it and running like a business. Um, and that's the whole goal. Because I mean, it's enjoyable. I enjoy it. I can see the potential in it, of course, which is the reason why I'm still in it. Um,
What do you enjoy? What do you enjoy doing in the business? Like, if you said, hey, this is what I really love doing.
Honestly, talking to clients.
Okay,
I enjoy talking to clients,
dude. Which is why you close freaking 80% of your leads.
Yes.
which is why the goal. Because I mean, we have. So I have my 2 full-time guys here, and if I'm working, and I have a guy who does our social part-time. So if we're in here, all of us in here, there's no space. There's literally no space at all. But I do enjoy talking to clients. We have a little nice waiting room. A lot of clients will talk 35, 45 minutes, and we've done 2, 3, 4 cards of them. And so we have a big portion of our clients are return clients.
Yeah,
I enjoy it. I do truly enjoy that part of it.
Yeah, man. You're David. You're like Barry kind of said at the beginning of this conversation. Is you have a ton of hats on right now. So I'm gonna teach you something that I teach everybody. I've gone through this with Kevin. I've gone through it with everyone that I coach. I've gone through it with myself. I do this all the time personally and for my business and for my personal life. But there's basically 3 columns. So right now I want you to write down, or at some point, not right now, but at some point I want you to write down everything that is on your plate. Every single thing that David does every day, not for 8 hours a day, but 365 days out of the year, all the way down
to
a
book.
100%. It should be a book. Yes. Okay, so I want you to write down everything.
Dude, he made me do this too. So don't like it's a great exercise. And again, just kick yourself in the balls before you start. It'll be faster. But
have some fun with it. Yeah.
Oh, I know for a fact that list is going to be huge. Yeah, I know it's.
This is good. Yeah.
So keep going, Grant.
Grant's telling you to take.
So part 2. Keep going, Grant.
So after you're done with this, which David, I don't want you to just do it and then jump into part 2 right away. I want you to actually think about it and carry the book around with you, or carry that piece of paper around with you and add to it. Because what you're going to realize is when you walk to the back of the shop and you see a piece of PPF on the ground and you bend over to pick that piece of paper protection fill up to throw it in the trash, that goes on your list. Okay, I'm talking everything. I don't care if it's a second or if it's.
I've done that 15 times there already. So yeah.
Okay, good. Do you want to continue to do that?
No.
Okay, good. I hope good answer. Okay, $130,000 a year guy should not be picking up paint protection film off the ground. $130,000 a year guy should not be doing bookkeeping. $130,000 a year guy should not be applying paint protection film. Okay, if you don't want to. Now the reality is step 2, which is where it gets fun, is there's 3 columns to this. There's column number 1, which is I'm David and I love to do this. This is what I love to do every day. I love to talk to clients. I love to have relationships with them. I love to reach out to them. I love to close. I love opening the doors and getting here an hour early. Whatever it is that David loves to do every single day based off your list, cross them off, write it in that column. Column number 2 is David, I don't mind doing these things right now. I don't want to do them forever, but if I need to do this for the next 6 months to a year, I'll continue to do them. But I don't want to do them forever. Eventually, I'm going to want to hire somebody to do this.
So can I do that list? Like, can I name that list? I'm okay to do these kind of things, but not.
Yeah, it's a good for now. Don't want to do forever. Okay, so here's the I love column. Here's the I don't mind doing column. And the last column is my favorite. Sorry again for the DR roadmap.
My favorite also.
Which is the fuck this. I don't ever want to fucking do this again. Okay? I'm going to stop doing this right now. Yeah, sorry. I told you guys I'm me personally.
No, you're good. No, it's good.
That's the FU column, which you can literally take the middle fingers to, just like the Phils did 2 nights ago when they beat the Marlins. Okay? I want you to go and give a middle finger to that column and write down everything you hate doing. Even down to like, I hate, pulling a car into the shop. Okay? Everything you don't want to do anymore.
Yeah, because David, when Kevin did this, the first thing he said was, I hate trying to compete with Barry Theal's good looks. So he put that down. You feel me?
I hate competing
Put
with
it all
his
down.
kidney stone size. That's I'm working on that.
Yes.
Where's my pot of coffee? Anyway, so yeah, the FU column was my favorite in doing this exercise because I was like, there was way too many things in the FU column that were currently in the middle column. So.
And that's the thing. And David, what we're going to do, or what I want you to do, is to start hiring people, not person, people to replace those jobs for you immediately, especially in the FU column. The FU column is, I'm going to hire a person today to take this time off of me. Okay. Cause especially, and you might be like, oh, this isn't 40 hours a week. It'll turn into that because you might not realize right now how much FU energy you're giving to the place right now. That the FU energy takes you 40 hours to do. Realistically, somebody or 60 hours is going to do. Somebody that loves to do it and wants to do it and wants you to pay them to do it and get it done like 25, 30 hours. Okay, because they love to do it. They're able to put phenomenal energy, the I love to do this energy, towards your FU column. Okay, that's step one. Then you're going to see how much time you
you'll
actually
feel better.
Yes.
You will feel
better. There's a few things that I dread to do during days. So yeah, I'm already. There's a couple of things. I hate fucking washing a car.
Yeah.
I literally hate washing a car.
I love that.
Everything else, not a problem.
Yeah.
We're gonna bring Barry down and he'll do all your car washing because he loves that.
I hate washing a car.
Your payroll might go up a little bit, but yeah, more than welcome. If you're paying me to come down, I'll come down. I'll knock it out. I'll get the shit done, I promise. But might cost you a little bit. Because right now, that is in my fucking detailing cars. As much as I love it, I love other things in life.
Oh my God, we're never going to make it to podcast number 2.
No, but but like the way you're describing it is like it's the mentality of working on the business instead of in the business kind of thing. But then you can figure out what parts you actually want to work in the business, and then have somebody else work on the other parts that you actually don't want.
Yeah, it's like the E-Myth revisited is basically.
I've listened to that I've listened to that book probably 10 times already. It's a good book.
Yeah,
and we've done a lot of that stuff on there as well with SOPs and a lot of those things that you learn from that book as well.
It's great.
David, let me tell you one of the things that really helped me as a business owner when I had a shop. Okay, I'm not the smartest man when it comes to typing. Okay, my brain, I can read and I can process it and bring it in. But when I go to process it to release it out, I'm not the good guy there. But what I was good at was running a shop, detailing. I knew how to make a shop flow, how to move cars, how to get things done. So my very first employee, when I hired him, he's still with me today as my business partner, 12 years later. The difference between me and him was when I brought him in, he was good at everything I wasn't good at. He knew how to manage people, talk to people, get things done, all that stuff. For my entire career, with 25 employees, I stayed and buffed cars in my shop all day long. To give you an idea. But that's because that's what I was good at and what I enjoyed. You know, I didn't enjoy the other stuff like Grant does. Grant likes to go out, talk to people, bring the business in, you know, things like that. And that's where he's trying to get you to find that level of enjoyment in your life to where you want to wake up, go to work every day, but capitalize on that.
And that's the funny part, because I'm pretty much very much an introvert when I go out with the wife and out. You know, we'll chit chat here and there, but then that's okay. What time are we leaving? Kind of thing. But then with clients, it's I don't mind it. Like I actually do like it. So it's, you know, that's I guess something I need to work on there.
Let's get you there.
I thought about this morning. I was actually going to post this on Facebook this morning because I was thinking about my own career and people that I talk to, and it's like, if you don't love what you're doing, you should probably do something else. So like that's like, and you know, going through all these, you know, I own multiple businesses and all that stuff. So like, if I don't love doing this particular business, I should just close it. Like, not that you should close. And I'm not. So what our goal here, my goal personally, is to, David, let's look at your business and figure out a way to help you love it and love the things that you do in it to be able to earn a great living and all that without this. Like, this is a perfect opportunity to avoid what could be some significant pain, I think. So we got action step number 1. We're at about an hour, so I want to be respectful of everybody's time. But we got action step number 1. Go by and take that task list, make your 3 columns. I used an Excel spreadsheet because I'm a nerd. And then Grant was like, holy crap, this spreadsheet's like 230 freaking tasks long. So
Wild. Color coordinated. It's wild.
It was color coordinated.
The tabs are just on the bottom. It's like,
has conditional formatting. It's a thing of beauty. I could launch one of SpaceX's things with this. So yeah. So use whatever you want there. What do we have for action number? Let's do at least 2 action steps, maybe 3. Let's do action step
5.
number 2 for sure. All right, so we're gonna do 5. Let's go.
The second one was the whole love to do, okay with doing it.
I love to do it. I don't mind doing it, and
then fuck the list. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah. 100%. Right. And then you're gonna want to build. You're gonna want to build. What we're gonna get at here, and this kind of action step number 2, David, is. It seems like the spot's going to happen, right? We can't stop you from going to the 7,000 square foot, correct? You're doing it regardless.
I can stop it. I mean, it's like literally.
And what does your heart tell you to do? Like internally, what's your heart telling you to do? And I don't want you to think from the ego side of things.
No,
like,
it's one of those. I do want to do it. I feel like we could get it profitable to a place that it's doable. Just for the fact that even with our marketing, we could push it a lot more in the area. And get more cars in because we do have the population to do it, but just that I feel like we're tight at where we're at now. I mean, if I could find to be a way more profitable where we're at now, I will stay here for a while longer. Yes,
bro, you're making $200,000 on a $400,000 or under $400,000 business. Okay, you're extremely profitable. You're not giving yourself enough credit there. Extremely profitable. Yeah. This isn't like a little profit. It's extremely profitable.
And it's. I feel like we can make that. I guess you guys made me start thinking about a lot of different things.
Good. That's what
I was all in. I go over there, and then I'm like, "Fuck, these numbers are like they're not adding up."
And I mean, David, honestly,
they don't.
Yeah, my one action step for me, and you guys can disagree with me, would be we need to examine how long it's taking you to do each car, because you said you've got everything on the business pretty well dialed in. So like, is everything, not including the fact that you shouldn't be laying PPF, but is everything in that process, like if you're spending 4 days on a car or whatever, however many days on a car, what'd you say, 4 cars a week?
No, for the PPF, it's more about so we'll get the first day, the stuff will lay down. It's all about waiting for it to dry than anything else. So that car will be done. And then because when we first started doing PPF, people started coming back because things started lifting at the corners because we were trying to rush it out. So now it's more about making sure it's just sealed completely. Ceramic wise, my guys can do a level 3, which is about average between $2,300 and $2,400 in 6 hours, 6 to 8 hours, 2 of them working on it. And that's a full polish correction.
What are the... Okay. So that's
that's completely
All right,
that's quick.
I mean, that's quick. That's great.
And that's the reason why I've kept my main guy, because he can fully sand the car, polish it out, and get it ready for ceramic within 6 to 8 hours. It could be a complete trash car, and I'll take that out in the sun, and it looks great. Which is why I've been been patient with him, but with the ceramics, they're very, very well with it. We put them on a lift.
You do have a lift. So do you have a 4-post lift? That was going to be my.
So
next
we have two lifts. One's so basically it's a bend pack. One's movable. The other one uses air to go up.
But you can't lifts. but it's just lifting the car up. It's not actually So my point is that if the car is just sitting, and Barry and you and Grant can comment on this, but if the car's going to sit, if we put it on if we have 2 4-post lifts, you lift those up, you have room for 2 more cars underneath there to work. I'm just talking about maximizing
Oh no
the space now.
These are the ones you run over,
Yeah.
and they'll yeah. So it has like that big yeah the metal thing
Right.
on. So one's a scissor and then the other one's like the metal.
They're mid-rise.
Exactly.
Well, and so what I'm saying is that if we're trying to maximize the space of this 2200, really with the beef jerky, you,
Can you hear that?
Oh my God, it's horrible.
so loud.
Well, why? Hey, hold on. We got to pause for Manly Man and Chris over at Detailer's Roadmap. I love it. Thank you, Chris.
Oh my
You're like
gosh!
this dude on an airplane. Yeah, that you're trying
Yeah.
to sleep, and each guy's Frito bag right in your fucking ear the whole time.
But and so my point on that
See, I ride first class. I don't have-
my point
I'm
on
sorry.
action steps is to look at like what other ways can we utilize this space better. So if your guys can do work on a car, like I'm from the hot rod world, right? We go into these garages and you've got 4-post lists everywhere because we need to double stack cars. And I know some guys in Southern California that they double stack their cars like that all the time because they have to, they work on it, put it up on the lift, pull another one underneath, work on that, move it around, get the other one out, and then it's just over and over and over again. So I don't know if you and Grant want to talk about it, Barry.
I think the biggest thing for us is our space. It's narrow, so you could probably do 2 cars side to side.
Yeah,
And
I don't like
it
your
goes,
current
and it
space.
goes back. So
I don't like your current
it's so if we have 5 cars in here and everybody's working on one little thing, it'd be tent, PPF, ceramic. We're shuffling crap around and we're losing time doing that.
Yeah.
But then when we start opening cars up, since lately we've been doing a lot of trucks, I'm scared to the point that one might not be paying attention, and the other one, the guy over here, and we're just going to start hitting doors. And it's gotten to the point that we've had 2 dualies in here, and there's no room for anything else.
Okay.
Yeah. So that's the main thing. If I could stay in here and keep my costs down, and be more efficient, that'd be great. Because that's been the biggest thing that we've worked on this past year. It has been efficiency because of that E-Myth book and how to duplicate everything with every job over and over and over kind of thing.
Yeah.
David, the shop space is definitely a concern. That's something from a business side of things. You're already seeing that now. Unless you become some boutique shop that's charging 10 grand a car, it's going to be difficult to hit your end goals here in that shop.
Mm-hmm.
How much do you have invested into that place?
And-
It's not takeable. You can't take it with. How much have you dumped into it?
Not much, really. The biggest thing
Okay,
is our flooring. The biggest thing is our flooring, which is race deck. Well, that can
take it with you.
move.
Yeah.
The biggest thing was our office. We did a little bit of a painting. It was already here. Put some flooring on here that we found at a storage place. Stuff that's permanent, it's very small. Then that's the reason I've always had in the back of my mind of moving, and I just didn't want to have anything permanent. Both lifts could get removed and moved. So there's nothing permanent fixed here.
Yeah, 100%. Dude, you got a great thing going for you, David. The awesome part about this is what you've been able to create realistically in about 2 years. Okay, doing 100 grand a year, most people can do that without thinking about it. The fact you've been able to create a $400,000 business in a little over a year and a half, dude, applause to you. That's incredible. And
that's
speaks
awesome.
to not,
But-
it's not your closing.
But
It's not your
y'all
closing.
made me start thinking about numbers now. So it's like,
Yeah,
fuck, what am I doing wrong?
Dave, but listen, you listen, Dave. You run a business. It's all
Yeah.
numbers. Everything's numbers. Think about
Which
this.
is why I wanted to do this.
You know?
Which is why I wanted to do this, because when you start doing yourself, you can fluff your numbers, you can mix them all up. You can not be like, okay, these are the actual numbers for this kind of cost, kind of thing. And you can play, mind games with yourself that, oh, it isn't so bad over here, kind of thing. But if you have other people actually critiquing and being honest with you, you're like, all right, this shit, it's worse over here than I thought it was going to be. And I can improve this part over here so that this number can go up and this number can go down, kind of thing, which is why the main reason why I wanted to do this whole thing.
David, there's a couple different ways to look at your business for you personally. And it's a question you got to ask yourself because you might not know the answer. If you do know the answer, obviously tell us this. Is this a business you want to work in for the next 30 years and it be able to provide to you and your family and you be able to do fun things and make a couple $100 grand a year and not, get the business running as it is and get somebody to kind of take over that FU column for you. But it's awesome. A little bit of headaches, but super comfortable. Or is it a business that you want to grow, get to 3 locations, make it a 7-figure business, revenue-wise, profit a couple $100 grand a year, put in a lot of time and effort into this, have a lot of people on your backbone, and potentially flip it one day, meaning you actually sell the business one day? Or is this just a lifestyle brand for you, where you're just looking to work it forever?
No. That's probably the second one you said.
Yeah, so you want to grow and yeah. Great answer.
Great answer.
David. Great answer.
Which is why the whole game plan is, to have everything to where I want it to be between 7 and 10 years, and then sell from there.
Perfect. Awesome answer. Okay. Here's the deal.
Yeah.
Everything you're going to have on that list, from the I love to fuck you, you're going to have to replace yourself with at some point then. Because the reality is nobody's going to buy the business with David involved in it. You don't have your numbers straight.
Oh, absolutely.
Right? So every dollar that you have off, right, in our industry, we're at a 4x EBITDA. Okay. EBITDA, we'd get into it a much longer time. No one that I know of has been paid a 7 or 8. Okay. But a 3 to 4x EBITDA means for every dollar, not of revenue, but basically profitability with other things added back in, you're going to get paid 3 to 4 times more. So if you pull out $100,000 in other ways and you don't have your numbers down, that could cost you $300,000 to $400,000 a year. Okay, not just off this final sale, a year. Multiply that out times 10 years, you're losing millions of dollars a year by not knowing your numbers. Okay, and it's also an inspiration piece for you to see, holy shit, like the fact that you decreased by $36,000 last quarter, September or not, I think that's just an excuse of what people are saying, that September was slow. It's a pure excuse when they say winter's slow. The fact that you decreased by $36,000 pisses me off. I get upset about it. I'm like, how the hell did you just drop by 30% and be okay with it? That is not okay. Okay, so for you being upfront, though, that would never happen. Okay, the idea, the facts around this is that you're stuck in the back the majority of the time. You have 65 leads coming in a month. You can 100% take care of that time with maybe an hour or two a day.
With that thing, where are the leads coming from? From Detailers Roadmap?
That's actually directly, like the 65 is on the low side, because that 65 was the number of calls or form submissions directly tracked.
Because I can tell you, last month our forms were like it was probably 10 to 12. Detailers Roadmap website.
It gets
which is why
it gets attributed. So if somebody goes to your website, then ends up on Google Maps or Google My Business, and they click the phone, that will get attributed because they started because it's tracked. So even though they came in through Google My Business on last step, if they started through the website, that's how that. And I can send you. Well, you have access to that.
Yeah.
So one more thing to this. Yeah. To go over the numbers real quick, David, for you, you can find your numbers very quickly. We did, okay? The number one number that you can look at, very entry level, is your cost per vehicle that's coming through the door. Okay, and it's very simple. You take the revenue. So Q1, I'm going to break this down for you so you can get an idea of the decrease that's happened. You've done more cars, but your cost per vehicles have gone down drastically. Okay, so in Q1, you did $102,000 at 83 vehicles. That averaged out at $1,216 a ticket. Incredible numbers. Phenomenal numbers. Your next Q2, you did $137,000, so went up $37,000, but you did 138 cars, and your cost per vehicle decreased by 30-something% down to $992 per vehicle. If you would have stuck at that $1,216 per vehicle, you would have made an extra $30,000, an extra $10,000 a month. That pays for your shop in 1 month. Okay, or it pays for your shop just by increasing and keeping that cost per vehicle. In Q3, you went back down revenue to $101,000. You did 116 cars. You decreased to $870 per vehicle that's coming through the door. So you had almost a $400 decrease per vehicle from Q1 to Q3. You need to keep up this cost per vehicle average.
Well, the thing was with the past quarter, 2 quarters is we actually, before this, we weren't in advertising window tinting at all. So that's been something that it just came up that we just started advertising because people kept on asking. So that's becoming, we're actually getting cars just for that now. Before it wasn't something that we were just doing in general.
But the other side of that too is you're also not upselling that on other vehicles, or else it would have had zero decrease. I mean, a $400 decrease is a lot. So bundle it in. bro. Bundle it in at that.
Yeah,
you
you'd
know, bundle it in
rather
other
do
cars.
30% fewer cars and make 30% more per car than do 50% more cars and make
primarily
30% less.
that's primarily what we do usually is ceramic coating, PPFs, tint, all comes in one time thing and all goes
Yep.
out. Yeah.
Yeah, cool. So I'm just giving you the whole. This is again this entry level like economics. I'm looking at a business from a very simplistic avenue. We could go on for hours about numbers.
Okay.
Okay, but if you ever business owner, David, you got like as all of us do, we know our numbers in and out. Right. All I look at is cost per vehicle. Okay, and the reality is, if you only have 2 guys that are in there, and realistically you're gonna have 3, maybe 4. I think that's pushing it. Your cost per vehicle should go up. You should get rid of the $50 or whatever those low margin, low revenue generating offers are that you have. Throw them out the door. Stop doing them.
We don't. That's the thing. Like our detailing, it's a small portion of our work now.
Exactly.
And
But you're still doing it.
Why
So
are
why
you
you
still
doing
doing? Why are you still doing it? Just to make these recurring? Like, does that if you do a detail that makes you $199, does that then make you get you a $4,500 job on the back end? Because the answer is no.
No. Usually it's the other way around. So it's somebody who's already came in for the big service, and they want to come in for a quick detail or a wash,
I wouldn't
kind of thing. Yeah, but it's usually we don't do full service details or a regular wash for somebody who hasn't come in for the full package yet. Yeah, we just turn them down. We don't do it.
I mean, in my mind, and you guys can talk about this, but like I would find someone else to hand those maintenance wash over to, because that is, especially with a small staff, if you're trying to quote unquote make that customer happy, but but you got to figure out a way to make them happy that doesn't take money out of your pocket, because that's where I'm guessing that if you look at everything together, that's probably where some of that $400 came from, is that you're doing.
Yeah, because I mean, for our washes is 65, 75, and 85.
Oh yeah, I would.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
I would not do those at all. I would find someone you trust locally and say, look, here's an $85 wash. I want $10 for it, or whatever, or nothing. Just make sure that they take care of your customer, and you figure out a way to incentivize them.
Yeah, or schedule all your customers on like the same day and sub them out to some guy to come mobily right to you.
Yeah, that too.
You know what I'm saying?
Yep.
So I mean,
That way you can make 30% on.
I guess with us, it's being able to be flexible with the schedule. We can usually put him in there when it's a quieter day. Usually it won't be when we're complete packed, but I just literally tell him we can't do it. But usually it does work out that it fills in a quieter morning, or they have space to do it, kind of thing.
But if they're on the schedule and you see them on the schedule and you're trying to get someone scheduled for it, and I mean, then you're going to not put someone. You're not. You may skip putting a $5,000 job into that slot because you got an $85 guy taking up your very limited space.
Yeah. David, you've grown, man. You've grown. You got to remember that. You know, when you first started 7 years ago, you needed the $50 to $85 washes, and at the time, you probably weren't even charging that. It's very difficult to let go of the things that started. Right. I still have my first Mustang here in my garage. I can't let the thing go. Doesn't matter what it costs me. I'll never get rid of it. It's because it brings me back to the beginning of everything. Okay. It's very difficult to let go of that. I went through the same struggle I know you're going through internally, even when we're talking about this. Why should I let this go? Like, you're coming up with a lot of, this is why I should not let this go, which is totally fine, man. But the reality is that your business is so far past the $50 to $85 washes, it's not even funny. Like, so far past it, dude. And if you can open up that time and that energy space to allow somebody to come in that's willing to provide you, even with a window tint job or a full detail or a ceramic coating and paint protection film job, it's going to be a little shift that's going to have massive outcomes out of it in the long run. Okay. So it's, of course, everything that we discussed today is totally up to you, David, and what you want to integrate.
Oh, no. Now
100%.
Now I'm like, fuck, I'm going to go through each quarter and be like, how many washes that I have? We freaking it made everything else just not work completely.
Well, that would be another action item, which is figure out where that $400 went. Like, I want to know,
washes, because I mean, with Square, it's one of those. It just gets considered as a transaction.
Right.
So that's for every wash, it's considered a transaction. So yeah, that's another thing that okay, I'm gonna see what I can do if I remove these washes. And like you said, try to keep at a good per vehicle amounts or average.
So action item number 1 is the columns. Action number 2, I want you to go through all those numbers and really understand what that looks like. Action number 3 for me would be to seek out and either do what Barry says and see if you can get a mobile guy to come to the shop, or another option is just literally just hand those off to somebody. Whether or not you make a spiff off of it is probably inconsequential. What else we got, guys? I want to, be.
Yeah, real quick. David, for your numbers too, I want you to break it out by Q1, Q2, Q3, and break it out by details. What was that total number? Coatings, what's that total number? PPF, what's that total number? And car washes, or whatever, intent. Whatever it is, break out your revenue, and then put it that in for each category there. Under each category, you're going to put the amount of jobs, and you're going to divide the jobs by the revenue, and that's your cost per vehicle average that's coming through for that category. Okay, I'm going to give you some background on this. I just went through this exercise with a company I coach. They did 269 jobs in Q3, equating to $120,000. 164, so that was an average of $443 per job. 164 of those jobs were car washes, which equated to $9,762 of the $120,000, equated to $60 a job. Okay, so they have three mobile trucks on the road full time, with people inside of them, obviously labor rate. That's only bringing them in over 3 months under $10,000. That equated to over 50% of the jobs. Risk assessment is another avenue that I want you to think about here. Is what's your risk? I know you might not think about that now, but you're going to, especially if you have a shop with 10 bays and you're going to have 10 people, let's say even 7 people that's filling it. That's a lot of risk that you're putting inside.
Oh, trust me, I've thought about I've thought about worst case scenario kind of thing, and if the well dries up, what the hell? Yeah, kind of. Trust me.
And if it's not, like Barry said, there's loss leaders. Okay, that's part of the business. Okay, Costco got built off losing money on diapers. Okay, so if there's something that loses to create a ton of income, every 10 car washes I get in, it's creating a $5,000 job. That's totally different, man. Lose money on car washes, take the risk because it's creating a ton of back end.
To be honest, that's the reason why I do them, because we do have a lot of these clients that come in for car washes, our return clients that we've done multiple cars with.
Yeah, they're still going to come to you.
There isn't anybody who comes in here just for a car wash and just stays there. I mean, that's all they come in for.
But what I was saying is that he's talking about the other direction. These are prospects that get washed on their way. So what you're trying to do, what you're doing is losing money for customer satisfaction. More or less. So what we want to do is figure out how to keep them happy without taking money out of your pocket directly.
Yep. That's exactly what I'm thinking of right now. Is exactly that. That aspect. Okay.
Yeah. The other side. Go ahead, Barry.
No, David. The only thing I was going to see is if you could get me your exact labor percentage. Now, do you know how to figure that out?
I know I have a calculator somewhere for the labor.
Okay, here. Well, no,
because
how to figure out your
because I did the whole the car supplies warehouse. They have an actual calendar, a calculator, how to do the labor and everything,
detail wise.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. So here, I'll make it real simple for you. Okay, you gross $400,000 a year. Labor percent your labor costs you $200,000 a year. Your labor percentage is 50%.
Okay.
See what I'm getting at? So add up all your employees, however much you paid out in labor last year, and wait, if I'm correct, divide that by 400,000. Is that right? Yeah.
So it should be. I mean, that's what we figured, right? That's that, because all your labor costs are in that 19 to 20 grand is what we're saying. So it's going to vary. Yeah. So that's $240K. 400 divided by 240 is what, 62% or something like that. So
And you guys said
Yeah.
labor should be between what, 10 and 15?
20%.
So
20, yeah.
you're about 3x right now over
Okay.
what it should be, right, guys? That
Yeah, because David, you're not considering it. You're
Yeah.
part of that labor. You're part of that labor. Okay, so you're
Oh, yeah, no, I
170,000.
consider it, yeah. No, I
Yeah.
consider that, yeah.
Yeah. Okay, so don't discount that now. Now, you as a business owner do deserve to get paid. I love that you're actually paying yourself because so many businesses don't. It's awesome that you're paying yourself. Okay, so don't stop doing that. Just don't give yourself a raise for a little bit or take any type of money out of the business for a little bit. Okay, until we can figure a lot of these things out. There was another aspect of your challenges and something that your goal, which was inadequate staff size, inadequate location, and then lack of skilled labor. All three of these kind of come into your number. I think this is your fifth one, okay, which is how I want you to start visualizing this business. Your two guys, question for you, the two guys that are in the shop, do all of them know how to code a car, tin a car, detail a car? Like when a car comes in, do you just throw somebody on it, or is it one person specific to each?
They both can do paint correction. They both can do ceramic coating. One of them, the young one, knows how to do window tinting, and the ceramic coating and everything. And they both can do detailing as well.
but nobody. You're the only PPF guy,
Yeah,
and
Okay.
that's because we haven't sent them to training, or because they don't want to go to training, or what's.
I think that's on me.
Yeah,
because
It is.
no, because
It is on you.
I like if we move to the new location, I have two guys that I could bring in right away.
why did you just train the two guys that you already have?
Yes.
Wait, David. Let me get that again. If you moved into that new location, you have two trained guys that you can bring in right now.
Yeah, but the thing is that So the thing is that we're just I don't know where to put them right now. Like I mean, it's either a full plunge, and then they have no space to put them anywhere.
Yep.
Yeah.
Awesome.
Kind of thing because I'm limited on space. So because this whole thing with the move has been happening for a couple of months. So I've had people come in here, do a week training, a week see where they're at, where I can use them if possible. But then this has been prolonging so long that it's kind of a whole thing, and I don't want to be telling you just come in here and be like, hey, I can't keep you on I can't pay you because you aren't doing anything.
But I would look at the two guys. If these other two guys are clearly skilled, they just haven't been taught this particular skill. So like
they can, like right now they were working on the car doing PPF.
What are
while
you?
I'm in here.
What are you Xing?
Hard no to that. You are not going to teach them a goddamn thing.
No, not
hard
you.
no.
There are training.
no.
There are literally
No,
hundreds of trainings.
None of that. No. Stop this. Okay, let me finish my number 5. Okay, you are now. This is why you don't have skilled labor right now. You do to a certain aspect is because they are all over the place. Every day a different job comes in. They're jumping from department to department to department. They aren't isolated and learning the skill set. It'd be like a lineman or a center becoming the quarterback and then going to running back and then jumping over to defense to be a D-back and then going and becoming the coach. Okay, they're going to suck at all of them. They're going to be
Well, they're all too fat except for the coach. That's the problem.
Exactly.
Yeah,
Andy Reid.
But see, for that reason,
There's too many Kevin Davis.
so for that reason, why
That's what
I
it
can
is.
leave on vacation for 7 days, and if I have just detailing ceramic coating jobs, I could leave them and they can totally knock it out, and the customer's happy.
100%.
So,
brother, I'm right there with you. Okay, I left for 2 months. I left my business for 2 months. I had 20 people running it for me, dude. Okay, I don't step a goddamn. I work a couple hours a week. Okay,
He's lazy.
Lazy
What
as
are you telling
shit.
David?
all right. I was just talking to David. Kevin was like, "What are you doing?" I was like, "I'm going to go buy a plane." Like, I'm so fucking lazy. So, David, I want you to start thinking about this. So, I made this very simplistic for businesses. There's 3 parts to a business. There's sales, there's specimen, and there's space. The 3 S's of the business. Right now, you have the sales. It's great. You have enough specimen, but you're a little lacking the specimen, and you're definitely lacking on space. Okay, you're overloaded on the space. You can only fit in 2 guys in there, and your sales. I mean, you're 3 weeks out. That's way too far. You shouldn't be any more than about a week out. I know it sounds crazy, but a week out is a perfect position to be in. If you're 3 weeks out, you're understaffed. If you're 2 weeks out, you're kind of understaffed. If you're a week out, you're perfectly staffed. Okay, so once you start tracking into that 2 or 3 weeks, for more than 2 months, if you're booked out, this is a strategy for you. If you're booked out for more than 3 weeks for over 2 months, you're understaffed, you need to hire and train immediately. The reason is your business is still tracking upward. If you don't add the amount of specimen, the amount of team members to keep up with the amount of traffic, it's going to implode. You're going to overbook. You're not going to have enough space. You're going to be telling clients we're 2 months out. Now clients are leaving. You're just basically sending money out the door. So right now you're totally understaffed. The reason you're understaffed is because you don't have the space. Okay. So you got to think of all three. So for you to move in, and the reason you don't have skilled labor, incredible skilled labor to the point where you feel that they could do one thing better than anybody, is because they're doing 7 things right now each. So for the next move for you, the next building, after talking to you for this hour and a half, could 100% work. 100% work. It might be the right move for you, but you personally have to know the numbers, and you got to have a game plan on how you're going to fill that place. The minute you step into 10,000 square foot, there's 2 of those avenues. You're going to have the space, but you're going to be missing specimen. And, well, potentially you're going to have 2 people that come in. You're still going to be a little understaffed, and then you're definitely going to be missing the sales. So how the hell are you going to catch up with the sales side of things to ramp up into ramp up into a 10,000 square foot facility? So for you, number 5 is something called a business plan. Okay. Another thing I've gone over with Kevin and a lot of people. Business plans are awesome. You've probably never done one before. If you have, let's go and revisit it and really get it dialed in. I'm going to send you over after this, David, the questions and the categories that go together with the business plan. For you, I really want you to look at what's the January 1 goal of 24, because we're 3 months out. So 3 months, 6 months, 1 year, 3 year, 5 year goals for you. You're coming down from how the hell are you going to fill that place up? The other side of it is you have a huge, seems like a huge yard outside of that spot. To me, it sounds like that could be an avenue of storage for you, storing cars. Okay, so you can get into now long-term storage of RVs that you're charging $250 a car.
Yeah. So that's something that's in the plan because there's a 3,000 square foot room in there, which we plan on doing that. And it's an idea that we're planting in there. And I could probably fill it up with already 10 cars from clients that are willing to do it at about $300, $400 a month. And it's going to be something we'll put a little bit of money into it, make it a little lounge for them if they want to hang out and store their cars. That's something that's separate from the way the building's set up is you could drive in there and it's away from the working environment as well. So it won't interrupt anything of everyday flow.
That's awesome. That's great.
That pays for more than half that pays for about half your rent.
Trust me, I've gone to so many scenarios how to get money coming in because the space is huge. The space is big, and the way we want to set it up is it's the waiting room. The biggest emphasis is going to be where the guys are working. Make it as efficient as possible, as easy as possible for them just to get in and out, get cars done. And then that's another plan for the whole storage thing, but that's not a priority.
Yeah, it's all up here right now, right? Everything's up here. Okay, you have the ideas. We got to see, are these executable ideas? Okay, and then realistically, you're 100% right. Yeah, we just need 30 cars to put in here, and then that 10 cars can pay $300 a month, and it's going to give us $3,000 a month, and that's $3,000 off the 7,000.
That's wishful thinking, but
yeah, how are you going to do it? Okay, what's the process of getting there? What's the marketing? What's the marketing plan there on getting those cars in? How much is that marketing plan going to cost? You're giving out 50 G's a year in advertising. It's a lot of money, bro. Yeah. Okay? I've never ran an ad in my life. Okay, let me rephrase. I did run an ad. That's another story. But you're giving $4,500 away in advertising a month on this. Okay? So how are you going to pay for all this stuff?
Yeah.
With all these ideas that you have going on, and are they executable ideas or are they not?
I think that's the biggest thing. Yeah.
One question for you, David. How's the camaraderie at your shop?
It's good. It's really good.
Everybody get along. Everybody laugh. Everybody joke. Everybody sound fun.
Everybody. They
rolling.
My 2 guys, they seem to work very, very well together. We're very. They can come up to me for anything if somebody needs to leave home early. And I've worked that very much into it to the point that why I've been so understanding with the one who's going through the whole thing with the kid. He's been very frank about it. I've been trying to be as supportive of it. And I guess it works and it helps that we can move our schedule around just to accommodate him at the moment. It'll be a little bit hard when we do move to the new spot. It's because it's just going to be more busier. But at the moment, everybody gets along pretty well.
Good.
And like if I need to, if I'm out, my young guy, he could bring somebody in, get him checked in, get their car worked on, get them paid, have them pay, have them checked out, and and he knows the whole process, the gift bags and everything, and how tell him what's the maintenance and so forth. So with that kind of stuff, they can handle it without me here.
All right.
David, I'm super proud of you, dude. Like seriously, you got a incredible thing ahead of you, dude. I'm so excited for
y'all make me nervous as hell. Now I'm going to the wife. I'm like, this is a fucking bad idea.
No, I mean and that's the problem with getting three guys like us in together, and we're calling it troubleshooting, right? Like we want to be able to, and we've all been through this same thing, and like it can be discouraging, but you have to put the plan in this. Let this motivate you to put this plan together. And honestly, I've been in business for myself for like 25 years, and I had not done a business plan for about 24 of those years. So I did one, and it was for one of my businesses, and it was pretty eye-opening, and it was encouraging and anxiety relieving and all this stuff. So we're not here to discourage you. What we're here to do is help you to make the right decisions on your own, right? Like we're not here to make decisions for you. So, and I'm guessing, dude, it's like three guys. I came in, they beat up on me for freaking 95 minutes.
Ate beef jerky.
I'm going to go, where's that truck driving school application that I started last week? I'm just going to go, really? My gosh. One guy's eating beef jerky the whole time, but all right, guys, let's wrap up the beef jerky hour.
I'm gonna edit with this. David, super proud of you, dude. Seriously, you have a lot going on. The cool part, the reason that we were able to ask all these questions and probably scare you a little bit is because we've officially asked of ourselves these questions 100 times over. Because all we do as business owners is we're always stuck so far up here. I want to thank you, and I know we're not the only ones, but thank you for opening up too, because this isn't easy. It's not easy to go out there and be vulnerable, especially to not just three dudes on here, but vulnerable to yourself as well. It's not easy. But bro, there's legitimately, David, there's nothing you can do wrong moving forward. Just know that you haven't done anything wrong up to date. There's nothing wrong you can do forward. You're able to support yourself and your wife and two awesome people that are at your shop. Not many people could say that they're able to do that right now. You are. So I applaud you. We all applaud you for what you've created, David. It's incredible.
Thank you.
It's just time to level it up and dial it in a little bit, dude. We're here to support you with that. Sorry for being a little, aggressive on it. I get super energized by dudes like you.
I'd rather it be honest than just fluffed around, because when it's honest, you get straight to the point, because when people start fluffing it around, you lose a lot of that's what you need to hear.
Right.
Yeah. So it's rather.
Well, we've got your action items. We're gonna go. Grant's gonna send you the business plan thing, and then we'll kind of keep up with you. But we haven't decided exactly when round 2 is gonna be, but we're thinking 45 to 60 days ish. So we'll give you time to kind of do this. We can be available by email as well. So we'll have you on for round 2. See how things are going, see what you decided to do, see how many Mercedes that you've sold to Grant and Barry.
So, okay. Since I have you guys here,
That's richer than I am.
Since I have you guys on here, what do you guys think of? Okay, so with the lease agreement with that place, there's 2 options. I've told them there's 2 options. Either clean that shit out, leave it bare, nothing there, and we'll build it from there, or close the doors. Give me the keys, leave everything there, and I'll deal with it.
Give me all the titles and all the keys.
Titles. Yeah, who owns the titles?
You have to go get the titles from MVA, and you could get you could junk every car, and you get $500-$600 per car, and they have about 120 cars there.
So you have 150 cars, and you wouldn't make $500 per car.
500, yeah, if you junk each car.
I mean, I would, Barry's the Mercedes guy, but I would bring someone in to evaluate what cars are there, and then you could pick and choose if you're going to junk them. But if there's like 3 or 4 cars in there that are worth any money, even though they don't look like it on the surface?
I doubt it because it's cars that have been there for years. It's not like a car that recently just had a big job and it went away. And there's no classics. There's no classics either. It's just
David,
mid 90s forward.
I'll help you out.
All right, David. Here's the deal.
Now hold on, stop.
Barry,
I'm gonna get to you before Grant does. Here's the deal.
No.
You tell me,
and I'll split off.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. You tell me the inventory, Dave. You tell me the inventory. I gotta check. I gotta check. You know what I'm saying? And Dave, I'm being honest. My check, I can write it a little bit longer than Grant can. You know what I mean? He's still young yet. He's wet behind the ears. You know.
So that's been another thing that I've been contemplating with that spot is just deal with the crap and then just sell crap off, or
you need to get someone to evaluate the cars, quite honestly, because you literally don't know what's in there unless you're looking at a full list with VINs, with all the information that someone has evaluated. And they may be junk cars worth nothing but scrap. I mean, that's a potential. There's also a potential. There's a car in there that some idiot like Barry Theal would buy because he loves Mercedes, and he'll pay way too much.
Right away.
because the way I was thinking of that extra time that I was going to do with selling, if they just leave it, just walk away from there, was I was going to use that money for all the rehab that we're going to have to do in that spot.
So David, this is okay. So business plan. This is exactly where this comes into play here. Okay, at 115 cars unknowingly at $500 a car is $57,500. How much is towing on each car? Say it's, there's a lot of things that can go into play here on what exactly is it going to net you and is it worth it?
Yeah, that's exactly what I've been contemplating.
Yeah. So 100% follow Kevin. Just honestly, just text Barry over some pictures of it. I'm sure he can jump in. There's Mercedes experts all over the place. Don't jump into something until you dial it all out. What's the different options? One, I like fresh space, but if there's $60,000 of free money sitting there, obviously take the 60 G's. Okay. The reality is, but how far is that going to push you back? Like, so now if you get 115 cars out of here, how far is that going to push you back?
It's a time and cost kind of thing.
There's a control aspect though too, because if you're waiting for the 85-year-old man to get rid of 115 cars versus you getting rid of them, that's another thing to put in your plan to figure out what that might look like.
The benefit there's probably 15 cars in the parking lot. Everything else is in the lot behind, away from the building. So I can just go ahead and just take those 15 cars from in front of the building and scrap them and have a clean parking lot. And then work on the cars in the lot.
Okay. All right. Well, that's to Grant's point. Let's put that in the business plan and figure out a way, like run all the numbers and the scenarios and everything.
Yeah. But dude, you make $60,000 right now, technically in like 3 months. So is it, is this going to be a benefit or not?
Is the juice worth
that's the biggest thing. That's exactly. Because if over here, you can call somebody, they'll come pick it up, pay you $500, $600. That includes your tow. Just get them the fuck out of here kind of thing. So, which is why, and then you have that money for the building out of it. And,
Dude, Barry and I will come take care of it. Don't worry.
Yeah.
I'll call Larry. I call Larry Casilla. Larry Casilla can do a barn find deal on it, do some content. We'll pay you a couple $100.
And I gotta be honest with you guys. Now that I got the Panamera and the other Porsche, do I really need Benzes?
I know one thing for sure. Right? After today's podcast, I am not stepping into a car with you and listening to beef jerky crumble for an hour and a half on the way down to Maryland.
Listen.
First of all, we all know now not to fly with Barry anywhere. That's the first thing, because that's something make me, because I'd be jumping out of the emergency exit row. But all right, David, I appreciate it, man, and I appreciate appreciate you guys coming on board. So let's go those action plans. Go ahead, Grant.
David, did this help?
A lot. Yeah, because it is what I was expecting. Because, like I said, if you do everything on your own, which I've done my whole life, it's just figure it out. Like I've never went to PPF classes. I never went to the ceramic. Just figure the shit out yourself, and with practice, it makes good. it's always good to have an opinion from outside your mentality or somebody looking in.
Yeah.
Cool. Awesome, dude. Thanks,
Awesome.
David. Appreciate you, bro.
All right, man. We'll
Thank
talk to
you.
you again in round 2.
Thank you.
Head over to detailersroadmap.com and get your one-stop success solution today.